Close your eyes and picture your living room in 1994. A 27-inch CRT television sits against the wall, VCR blinking 12 o'clock beneath it. Your copy of TV Guide is dog-eared on the coffee table, marked up with circles around Thursday night. You have maybe 30 channels, and that feels like abundance. That year, 62% of American homes had cable, 85% owned a VCR, and the average household kept their television running 7 hours a day. Television in 1994 wasn't just entertainment, it was the communal hearth around which America gathered, the shared language that made strangers into neighbors at the water cooler Monday morning. What you're about to discover is how 1 year, just 12 months, fundamentally reshaped everything about the medium. From the biggest scandal Saturday Night Live had ever seen to a slow-motion car chase that stopped a nation, from tearful sitcom moments to the birth of shows that would define a generation, 1994 stands as the pivotal moment when television grew up, got messy, and became unmissable. The year opened on January 30th at the Georgia Dome in Atlanta, where 90 million Americans tuned into NBC for Super Bowl 28. The Dallas Cowboys demolished the Buffalo Bills 30-13, with running back Emmitt Smith earning MVP honors. But the halftime show made its own history, the only all-country halftime performance in Super Bowl history, featuring Clint Black, Tanya Tucker, Travis Tritt, and a surprise reunion of the Judds. The stadium went completely dark for the first time ever during a halftime show. Watching from the NBC broadcast booth was a familiar face doing pre-game analysis, former football legend O.J. Simpson. Nobody watching that January day could have imagined that within 5 months, that same man would become the center of the most-watched television event of the decade. Saturday Night Live had weathered controversies before, but February 1994 delivered 2 shockwaves in consecutive weeks. On February 12th, Alec Baldwin hosted an episode featuring Adam Sandler's recurring character, Canteen Boy. Baldwin played a scoutmaster making inappropriate advances, and the sketch drew immediate backlash. The Boy Scouts of America issued a statement declaring, "We see nothing funny about child molestation." But that controversy paled against what happened 1 week later. On February 19, 1994, comedian Martin Lawrence took the Studio 8H stage and detonated his career in under 5 minutes. His monologue veered wildly from Lorena Bobbitt jokes into an extended, graphic rant about feminine hygiene that left the control room scrambling. "Some of you are not washing properly," Lawrence declared to an increasingly stunned audience, his material growing more explicit by the second. NBC received approximately 200 complaints from furious East Coast viewers before the West Coast feed even aired. Executive producer Lorne Michaels would later offer the understatement of the year: "Live television is full of surprises." The fallout was swift. Lawrence was pulled from his scheduled Tonight Show appearance and banned from NBC entirely. When the episode reran, producers replaced his monologue with title cards and a voiceover dripping with barely concealed panic. It was a frank and lively presentation and nearly cost us all our jobs. Lawrence never appeared on SNL again. February also showcased television comedy at its creative peak. While SNL dealt with scandal, animation was reaching for the stars, literally. On February 24, 1994, The Simpsons aired Deep Space Homer, an episode so ambitious that some writers worried it was too big an idea. Homer becomes an astronaut, and the sequence of him floating through the shuttle cabin chasing a spinning potato chip set to The Blue Danube became one of the most celebrated moments in animation history. Astronaut Buzz Aldrin himself provided guest vocals. 4 days earlier, on February 10th, Seinfeld delivered what many consider the greatest comedic payoff in sitcom history. In The Marine Biologist, George Costanza explains how he saved a beached whale, building to the revelation that the obstruction in the animal's blowhole was a golf ball launched by Kramer. "The sea was angry that day, my friends," George intones, "like an old man trying to send back soup in a deli." Actor Jason Alexander learned the new ending minutes before taping. Larry David had rewritten it completely that day. On April 1st, 1994, ABC introduced America to identical twins Tia and Tamara Mowry in Sister Sister. The premise was irresistible. Twins separated at birth who accidentally discover each other while shopping in a Detroit mall. Raised by different single parents, Tia with her seamstress mother Lisa, played by Jackie Harry, and Tamara with her businessman father Ray, played by Tim Reed, the girls convinced their families to merge into one household. The show became a cornerstone of ABC's TGIF lineup before moving to the WB, where it ran for 6 seasons. Meanwhile, science fiction fans prepared to say goodbye to a starship that had become home. On May 23, 1994, Star Trek: The Next Generation aired its series finale, All good things, drawing over 30 million viewers and earning a 17.4 Nielsen rating, the highest in the show's 7-year run. The two-part episode featured Q putting humanity on trial once more, bookending the series with its pilot. USA Today called it picture perfect. Just 4 days earlier, on May 19th, LA Law ended its acclaimed 8-season run with 22 million viewers watching the legal drama's deliberately unresolved conclusion, including one character plunging to her death in an elevator shaft. The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air had been a reliable comedy for 3 seasons, but nobody was prepared for what aired on May 9th, 1994. In Papa's Got a Brand New Excuse, Will's absent father, Lou, played by Ben Vereen, returns after 14 years. Uncle Phil, having watched his nephew's hopes rise, warns Will he's not here because he wants to be a father. When Lou abandons Will yet again, choosing business over his son, the episode builds to a confrontation now burned into the memory of everyone who saw it. Will Smith delivered what many consider his finest performance, cycling through anger, denial, and devastating grief. "How come he don't want me, man?" Will finally breaks down, falling into Uncle Phil's arms. The scene reportedly contained partially improvised moments of genuine emotion, and James Avery's silent embrace resonated with millions of viewers who had experienced similar abandonment. The episode holds a 9.7 rating on IMDb, making it one of the highest-rated sitcom episodes in television history. The date was Friday, June 17, 1994, and America was settling in for Game 5 of the NBA Finals between the New York Knicks and Houston Rockets. Then everything changed. Former football star O.J. Simpson, charged with the murders of his ex-wife Nicole Brown Simpson and Ron Goldman, was supposed to surrender to police that morning. Instead, he fled. His friend Al Cowlings drove a white 1993 Ford Bronco down the Santa Ana freeway at 35 miles per hour, while Simpson sat in the back seat with a gun pressed to his own head. A convoy of police cars followed at a distance as news helicopters tracked every mile. NBC made television history with a split screen. Basketball on one side, the Bronco chase on the other. Tom Brokaw narrated as fans lined freeway overpasses holding signs reading "Go Juice." The chase lasted approximately 90 minutes and covered 60 miles of Los Angeles freeways before ending at Simpson's Brentwood estate just before 9 p.m. An estimated 95 million Americans watched some portion of the chase, more viewers than most Super Bowls in the 1990s. Domino's Pizza reported its busiest delivery day in company history. Game 5 of the finals became the lowest-rated finals game since the early 1980s. The spectacle marked television's full transformation into a real-time national experience and launched the true crime genre that dominates streaming services today. Fall 1994 arrived, and NBC was about to make television history. On September 19th, audiences met the harried doctors of Chicago's County General Hospital in the 2-hour premiere of ER. Created by novelist Michael Crichton from a script he'd written in 1974, the medical drama starred relative unknowns Anthony Edwards as Dr. Mark Green, George Clooney as pediatrician Doug Ross, Sherry Stringfield as Dr. Susan Lewis, Noah Weil as medical student John Carter, Eric LaSalle as surgical resident Dr. Peter Benton, and Juliana Margulies as nurse Carol Hathaway. Critics had expected David E. Kelley's competing medical drama Chicago Hope on CBS to dominate, but ER crushed expectations. By December, it ranked third in the Nielsen ratings with nearly 20 rating points. The show would go on to earn 124 Emmy nominations, the most for any drama series in history, and run for 15 seasons. 3 days later, on September 22nd, lightning struck twice. At 8:30 p.m., NBC premiered Friends, following Rachel Green bursting through the doors of Central Perk in a wedding dress. Creators David Crane and Marta Kaufman had workshopped several titles, Insomnia Cafe, 6 of 1, Friends Like Us, before settling on the name that would become iconic. The pilot introduced Jennifer Aniston as Rachel, Courtney Cox as Monica, Lisa Kudrow as Phoebe, Matt LeBlanc as Joey, Matthew Perry as Chandler, and David Schwimmer as Ross. Critical reception was initially lukewarm. Some reviewers dismissed it as a so-so Seinfeld wannabe. But 22 million viewers tuned in, and the numbers only grew. By season's end, Friends had established the hangout sitcom as a defining format of the decade. Jennifer Aniston's layered haircut, debuting that fall, would become the Rachel, the most requested hairstyle of the Clinton era. That same Thursday night at 10 p.m., ER claimed its regular time slot. NBC's must-see TV lineup, Mad About You, Friends, Seinfeld, and ER, was drawing 75 million combined viewers on Thursday nights alone. On August 25, 1994, ABC premiered My So-Called Life, a teen drama that showed adolescence without the usual television glamour. 15-year-old Claire Danes played Angela Chase, navigating high school with a raw authenticity viewers had never seen. The show featured groundbreaking representation, including Wilson Cruz as Ricky Vasquez, one of television's first openly gay teenage characters. Critics adored it. Viewers, about 10 million per week, weren't enough to satisfy network executives. ABC canceled the show after just 19 episodes, prompting one of the first organized online campaigns to save a television series. The effort failed, but My So-Called Life earned Claire Danes a Golden Globe and achieved cult status that persists 30 years later. On September 11, 1994, the 46th Primetime Emmy Awards saw Frasier take Outstanding Comedy Series in its first season, with Kelsey Grammer winning Lead Actor. NYPD Blue earned 17 nominations, breaking a record held by Hill Street Blues since 1982, with Dennis Franz winning Outstanding Lead Actor in a Drama. David Letterman's Late Show won Outstanding Variety Series, cementing his dominance over Jay Leno in the late-night wars. But the biggest seismic shift happened off-screen. Fox had shocked the sports world by paying $1.58 billion for NFL broadcasting rights, outbidding CBS by $100 million annually. On September 4, 1994, NFL on Fox debuted, introducing the Fox Box, the first persistent on-screen graphic showing score and time remaining. The innovation, now universal, transformed sports broadcasting forever. Fox's New World Communications deal, signed that May, triggered a wave of CBS affiliate defections that transformed the scrappy upstart into a genuine fourth network. Meanwhile, Paramount and Warner Brothers announced plans for UPN and the WB launching in January 1995. The era of three-network dominance was officially ending. Television in 1994 existed in a vanishing twilight. It was the last year before DVRS, before streaming, before smartphones fractured our attention into infinite scrolling. When Friends premiered, you either watched it Thursday at 8:30 or you waited for summer reruns. When O.J. Simpson led police down the 405, 95 million people experienced that collective shock simultaneously. This was appointment television at its zenith. Must-see TV wasn't marketing, it was truth. Your coworkers watched the same shows. Your neighbors quoted the same lines. Seinfeld's shrinkage became a national euphemism. Fresh Prince's tearful breakdown made grown men cry in living rooms across America. The shows born in 1994 would go on to generate billions of dollars, launch movie careers, and shape how storytelling works on television. ER pioneered the fast-paced medical drama. Friends codified the ensemble hangout comedy. NYPD Blue proved network television could handle adult content. The Simpsons, in its golden age, proved animation could achieve artistic brilliance. But beyond the shows themselves, 1994 captured something irreplaceable. The last moments when television truly unified us, when 30 million people could watch the same finale on the same night and feel like part of something shared. If you were there, you remember the weight of that TV guide in your hands, the anticipation of Thursday nights, the way a single broadcast could become the only thing anyone talked about for weeks. That was television in 1994, and nothing has ever been quite like it since.